Good evening on this Wednesday, the 2nd day of April 2025. It's just in time for the day's news on Newswatch here on Hope TV. Now, it has been quite an eventful day. Let us unpack some of those events for you. I'm Tess Njenga and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Muredi. Let's kick off. Just a week after being dismissed from his position, former Public Service Cabinet Secretary Justin Muturi is now claiming that President William Ruto fired him not because of missing cabinet meetings, but due to his stance on issues of abductions and killings in the country. Muturi confirmed missing several cabinet meetings, but explained that the reason he was absent was that the issue of abductions was not being discussed in those meetings, which were led by President Ruto.
Tunakupenda sana. Tunajua tuko na miradi unataka kukuja kutumalishia na kutufungulia. Tuko na hii soko ya Embu hapa town na tunatarajia rais wetu unakuja ndio utufungulie hiyo soko ndio ikamilishe. Kuna maji ya barabara mingi, kuna miradi ya barabara na tunajua unaweka rami karibuni. Tungetaka utumalizie hiyo miradi sababu sisi watu.
I again wrote to the president directly this time, drawing his attention to my earlier letter dated 20th of January this year, and stated that I found it untenable for the highest decision-making body of the state to continue sweeping the matter of abductions and extrajudicial killings under the carpet. I stated therein that I would not attend any other cabinet meetings until the issues of abductions and extrajudicial killings were listed as an agenda for discussion, debate, and resolution on the way forward. This is because, ladies and gentlemen, apart from the fact that I was personally affected, there are several Kenyan families, friends, and relatives of Kenyan youth who still are missing. Others have been found dead, and others released after undergoing a lot of torment. The third cabinet meeting took place on the 11th of March 2025 at State House, Nairobi. Unlike in the other two, I had been invited and sent the agenda for the day. The item on abductions and extrajudicial killings was still missing on the agenda. I was therefore, like many Kenyans, was surprised to hear the president on live television on the evening of the 31st of March, stating that the issue had been discussed in cabinet and had been resolved. Since my reasons for not attending cabinet are clearly stated in the letters that I have referred to, the inference one draws from my sacking is that raising the issue of abductions and extrajudicial killings must be terribly annoying to the president. It is no wonder that those closest to the president have variously been in different fora calling for my resignation and or sacking.
President William Ruto continued with his development tour of the Mount Kenya region, with his second day seeing him tour Meru County. Addressing the residents in Meru County, Ruto emphasized the need to develop the area, reiterating on uniting the country and shunning away from divisive politics. Earlier on, he laid the foundation stone for the construction of the Huduma Center in Maua, which will offer more than 20 services to the people of Igembe South. Our reporter Dolly Mwirigi Mbuvi now reports.
President William Ruto has reiterated his strong influence in the Mount Kenya region, responding to former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua regarding their ongoing supremacy battle. On his second day in Meru County, President Ruto addressed the resident, saying that his long-standing relationship with the area, built over 2 decades, remains unshaken.
Nyinyi watu wa Meru, watu wa mulima hapa. Mimi nimekuwa hapa miaka karibu 20. Mimi nimetembea na nyinyi safari zote. Mimi nimekuwa na nyinyi miaka yote. Mimi siwezi kubali ati mtu akuje atutenganishe na siasa ya fitina na chuki. Mimi nitasimama imara kuhakikisha ya kwamba vile mliniheshimu mukanipatia kura zenu, na mimi nitawaheshimu, nitawafanyia kazi mpaka mshangae.
During his address in Maua, Meru County, Ruto pointed out various development projects and reaffirmed his commitment to fulfilling campaign promises.
Ili tuweze kupata kuendesha mambo ya maendeleo kwa kasi, lazima tuungane. Jamii zote tuungane, county zote tuungane, sehemu zote za Kenya, kwa sababu umoja ni nguvu, kutengana ni udhaifu. Mimi nawauliza watu wa Meru, mimi kama rais wa taifa letu la Kenya nimesema nitaunganisha wananchi wote wa kutoka taifa letu la Kenya, bila ya kujali wanatoka jamii gani, wanatoka sehemu gani, wanatoka kaunti gani, kwa sababu sisi wote kwa mapenzi ya Mungu ni ndugu moja, watu wa taifa moja, sisi ambao tutafaulu tukiwa pamoja.
Ruto was accompanied by several leaders including Deputy President Kithure Kindiki and other notable officials.
Watu wanaweza pata pesa kwa bank, develop area zetu, tusomeshe watoto na tufanye maendeleo. Sio ni maendeleo jameni? Kitu cha pili, Your Excellency, ni kwamba ile kitu umefanya kwa hii area, umefungua maendeleo ya 40 billion kupitia murandi wa energy, Meru Energy Park.
Nchi yetu ni nchi moja, na yeye kama kiongozi wetu wa taifa letu tumpatie nafasi aunganishe nchi yetu iwe taifa moja. Tuachane na mambo ya ukabila na kusumbuana kwa sababu ya pahali mtu amezaliwa ama dini yake, kwa sababu sisi zote ni wananchi wa Kenya. Hatutaki mambo ya ukabila na migawanyiko. Munaunga rais mkono aunganishe taifa letu ya Kenya.
Ruto's response comes amid political tensions following Gachagwa's impeachment and a recent purge of the allies from key positions in parliament. This prompted Gachagua to rally his troops to oppose the current regime, citing unfulfilled promises and a culture of lies.
Atafuata Bernard Mudhaura.
Ruto's week-long trip marks his first visit to the region in nearly 6 months. He is expected to tour 6 more counties, including Nyandarua, Kirinyaga, Murang'a, Embu, Tharaka Nithi, and Kiambu, having toured Laikipia and Nyeri counties on Tuesday. Dolly Murikimbuvi for Hope TV.
Thank you, Dolly Murigi, for that report. Now, the selection committee tasked with appointing new Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC officials, has been granted a 2-week extension by the National Assembly. Originally set to conclude its mandate by April 28th this year, the committee requested additional time to ensure it completes the important task effectively. National Assembly Minority Leader Janet Mohammed was the first to support the motion, urging Kenyans to trust the selection process. He expressed confidence that the committee will carry out its duties diligently and ensure that qualified individuals are appointed to lead the IEBC. ODM has dismissed allegations of party interference in the reconstitution of the IEBC. ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna stated that the process is being conducted in line with the NADCO report. Speaking after a meeting of the party's National Executive Committee in Nairobi, chaired by ODM leader Raila Odinga, Sifuna emphasized that ODM has no influence over the appointment of new IEBC commissioners. He also refuted claims by opposition leaders, that is Kalonzo Musyoka, Martha Karua, and Eugene Wamalwa, who had raised concerns about the fairness of the selection process and threatened legal action if they are not included.
The party takes strong exception to recent unfounded allegations made by some Azimio la Umoja leaders of alleged interference by ODM in the ongoing process of reconstituting the IEBC. For the record, this process is being conducted in full accordance with the NADCO report. It is also common knowledge that NADCO was chaired by none other than the Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, the leader of the Wiper Party. Kenyans are fully aware that the inordinate delay in commencing this exercise was due to the failure to resolve the nomination of the Wiper representative to the selection panel. Following the support of ODM, both at the PPLC and in court, including affidavits sworn by our very own Junet Mohammed here, Wiper got its rightful slot, and as we speak, Wiper's nominee to the panel, Koki Muli, has been part of the process from the shortlisting to the ongoing candidate interviews. In fact, one of the candidates who've been shortlisted as a member of the commission is Honorable Musyoka's advisor, and this is fully within the candidate's constitutional right. Further, the law grants the selection panel the authority to determine its own procedures, granting it operational autonomy in executing its mandate. The panel should be allowed to independently execute its mandate without political interference or indeed any other interference. We view the accusation by a section of Azimio leaders as an attempt to preemptively discredit the panel and the outcome of the entire process. Kenyans have waited a very long time to have an electoral commission in place, and we will not countenance any attempts to derail or delay that process. That is why we set up a law that sets up an independent panel, because at the end of the day, Kenya has almost 100 registered political parties.
Moving on, Tess Njenga has denied allegations that he organized youth linked to the outlawed Mungiki sect to attend President William Ruto's meetings during his ongoing tour of the Mount Kenya region. Speaking outside Makadara Law Court in Nairobi after the hearing of his case, Njenga claimed that those opposing the region are the ones spreading false information.
Lazima tumulaki. Popote president atakapoenda sisi tutamulaki kwa sababu yeye ni kiongozi wa taifa la Kenya. Yes. Sio kuwa accused. Lazima tumobilize everything. Everything, watu wakuje kwa mkutano, na mkutano watu washangilie president ili watu wapate amani. Ile kitu tunataka katika sehemu zote za Mount Kenya ni maendeleo.
Let us now take a short break on Newswatch tonight. Much more is coming up after the break.
One thing I've learned about leadership, just generally in leadership, the leader is not the smartest person in the room. All right? He's not always the smartest person. When you're a leader, your strength is in the ability to be able to harness the gifts around you. It's the same thing in the family. All right? Like I said, your wife is a very smart person. So you don't shut her down. All right? But you allow her to, you pick those ideas, you discuss them, and one of you, you make them your own.
Definitely.
It's like even in any organization, as the CEO, for example, you're not necessarily the smartest person in that organization, but you get around yourself people who are smart, people who are good in what they do, and then you take all those ideas and then you lead. And guess who takes credit at the end of the day? You take the credit at the end of the day. Because you're the leader.
You're the leader.
Isn't it? You know. So that's what leadership is all about. So being able to also just harness all those gifts that God has given you through your wife and one of you, but being able to chart the way forward.
Men on Record, every Friday at 7 p.m.
You are Alpha and Omega.
Not only are we going to be offended, but believe it or not, we are going to offend somebody else. Whether directly or indirectly, sooner or later, we're going to hurt someone's feelings. We're going to do something that will disappoint someone. We will break someone's heart. We are humans. We are all weak. We all make mistakes.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. The Lord Almighty reigns.
It's the man's responsibility to initiate that. Even if his wife was wrong, but he responded by raising his voice, by saying things to her with the wrong attitude, he needs to go down and knock on that door and say to his wife, will you please forgive me?
Set the prisoner free. By his own great mercy we are set.
Aya, I'm not go TV stream. It's free.
Go TV Stream iko mkononi na ni free. Download Go TV Stream app for free. Uenjoy live TV na shows kamia nane. Download and watch later anytime, anywhere. Go TV Stream iko mkononi na ni free. Available to active subscribers. Go TV. Love it.
Thank you for tuning in to Hope TV, your go-to channel for hope, inspiration, education, and wholesome entertainment. At Hope TV, we are committed to knowing God and making Him known through powerful media content. We truly value you and are dedicated to serving you better. For feedback, inquiries, or complaints, reach out via WhatsApp or SMS on 0708 222 323. Email us at customerexperience@hopefm.org. Hope TV, look and live.
Welcome back. The National Assembly's Departmental Committee on Lands is investigating a land ownership dispute between the National Police Service and a women's group at South Sea in Langata constituency. The committee, chaired by North Mugirango Member of Parliament Joash Nyomoko, convened following a request by Kiambaa Member of Parliament Juguna Kawanjiko, who made the request on behalf of the Wilson Mutumba Women's Group.
The Wilson Mitumba Women's Group has been laying claim to owning a disputed piece of land in South Sea, Nairobi since the 1980s. The group asserts that the late former President Daniel Moi allocated them the 26.8-hectare piece of land. However, in 2005, the then OCPD of Langata Police Station evicted them. The group took the matter to the High Court, where Justice Nyamu ruled in their favor in 2008.
Not the owners of this land, they are the actual people who have been paying the rates. As far as that land is concerned, even when you go to the early SASA and you keep the new technology that you have, and you check the land rates that that land has, it is filed under the Mitumba women. They're the ones who are supposed to pay these land rates. The police have been misusing their power because even after they lost the case, they were not able, there is nowhere that they could get a court order and evict the police because they're the one to use that court order and make sure that they are evicted from the land. So the police have been misusing their power of this matter, Mr. Chairman. And even if they have made an appeal, is that they have made an appeal on a matter that they have already lost.
Why is the government now going to court again when they had already pronounced and a judgment made on the basis that the government had no claim over that land? This judgment was done by Honorable Justice Nyamu in 2008, and it is in that basis that
Principal Secretary for Land and Physical Planning, Nixon Corril, appeared before the committee and dismissed the women's claim, affirming that the land belongs to the government. He also stated that the government had appealed the High Court ruling and that the matter remains unresolved.
The receipt that is being used by the Mitumba is actually a fake receipt. Almost half of it is filled with police houses. In fact, there is a police station called West Park Police Station, and it has flats, units of flats. So the police have built houses for a commandment that has gone to court of appeal to appeal the determination of the law.
National Land Commissioner Chair Geshom Otachi told the committee that the National Land Commission proposed an alternative dispute resolution mechanism to settle the matter out of court. The committee has scheduled a subsequent sitting with the Principal Secretary and the National Land Commission on April 15, 2025 to discuss the matter further. For Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Modoni Karaoke.
The Orange Democratic Movement, ODM, has announced the dismissal of all county election coordinators in Nairobi County ahead of the party's grassroots elections next week. In a statement released today, ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna confirmed the expulsion of the chair of the election coordinators in Migori and some coordinators in Siaya counties. The party's National Elections Coordinating Committee NEC will announce new coordinators for these counties by April the 7th. Additionally, ODM Central Committee has appointed Wajir County Governor Ahmed Abdullahi Mohammed as the new National Organizing Secretary following the resignation of Abdisalan Ahmed, who was appointed Principal Secretary by President William Ruto.
Elections coordinators for Nairobi, all of them. The chair of the coordinators in Migori and some of the coordinators from Siaya counties are to be replaced with immediate effect. New coordinators shall be announced to take up those slots by the National Elections Coordinating Committee prior to the 7th of April 2025. In addition, the party Central Committee this morning confirmed receipt of the resignation of the Honorable Abdisalan, who was until today our National Organizing Secretary, following his nomination for the position of PS. We offer him our best wishes as he goes for vetting this Friday and in his new role, should he get it. In the meantime, the committee has proposed Governor Ahmed Abdullahi G, who is the governor of Wajir, to take his place.
Embu residents are gearing up for President William Ruto's visit on Friday as part of his week-long development tour of the Mount Kenya region. During the visit, the president is set to inspect and commission several projects, including the 700 million shillings ultra-modern market in Embu town and the Kamburu Dam water supply project in Mbeere South constituency. The president's last visit to Embu 5 months ago was marked by a hostile reception with protests during his speech at the installation of the new Catholic Diocese of Embu Bishop Peter Kimani. However, many residents have welcomed this visit, focusing on service delivery and the completion of stalled projects. Led by Mugo Mate, the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry Embu branch chair, residents are optimistic that the visit will bring new momentum to projects that are behind schedule.
Embu tunakupenda sana. Tunajua tuko na miradi unataka kukuja kutumalishia na kutufungulia. Tuko na hii soko ya Embu hapa town na tunatarajia rais wetu unakuja ndio utufungulie hiyo soko ndio ikamilishe. Kuna maji ya parapara mingi, kuna miradi ya maparapara, tutanjua unaweka rami karibuni. Tungetaka utumalizie hiyo miradi sababu sisi watu wa Embu ile tunataka ni maendeleo. Hatutaki makelele sana, titue ni sisi tuko safari, tuko namba moja na kupika makelele. Ile tunataka ni maendeleo, ile tunaona unatufanyia Embu.
Ruto, wewe kama unakuja, mimi nasemaga ni rais. Let us not show pia bad picture. Kwa sababu leo tunasema atakuja mlima, we kesho utataka kwenda kwao. This thing inaweza leta tribal fights.
Miradi ambayo inaendelea hapa Embu kama soko na mambo singine naona sikiendelea hapa Embu. Sisi tunasema tunashukuru na tunamuelekam kwa sababu tunamhitaji, na ile mambo alituambia na ijatimia, tunatarajia sasa itimie kwa sababu ni rais wetu na ni rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya.
Tunakaribisha rais wetu huku Embu, akuje huku Embu sababu kitu ya kwanza, rais wakati alikuja kutuomba kura alisema Embu ni sehemu yake. Kwa hivyo vile alisema Embu ni sehemu yake, amekaribishwa akuje ili aweze kutumalizia ile maendeleo tuko nayo. Tuko na maendeleo mingi sana, tuko na soko na tuko na mambo mengi. Akuje atumalizie soko yetu, akuje hata sisi atuone.
Masai Council of Elders in Narok have sharply opposed Senator Ledama Olekina's attempt to distribute bulls to Kajiado youth groups as a way of empowering them. The elders said the intended meeting is meant to undermine the leadership of Kajiado Governor Joseph Ole Lenku, as Senator Ole Kina had not consulted him before embarking on his planned mission. On his X account, the Narok senator indicated that he will crisscross the county to distribute bills to over 10 youth groups as a way of empowering them.
Naye Samburu akaenda tukalilia kwamba jamii zetu za Iljamus walihangaika kwa muda mrefu tangu tupate uhuru. Hawajawahi kuwa na consistency yao. Na akakubali siku hiyo hatukuwa na IBC. Sasa IBC ikikamilisha kazi yake naenda kutengewa hiyo Iljamus consistency yake, na tunasema asante kwa Daktari Ruto. Sasa tutaambia Raila asante kwa nini? Hakuna asante. Yeye mwenyewe tunataka kuambia yeye ongelesha ladama. Ongelesha ladama, kwa sababu kama wewe hapana ongelesha ladama utapoteza mengi kwa hii Narok. Na utapoteza mengi kwa kaunti zote za Masai. Kama hapana pea sisi keki ya Kenya. Na tena unasukuma ladama enda pigane huko. Na tena huyo mtu unaenda kupika bado iko chini yako, iko chama chako cha ODM.
Ladama has never contacted a meeting, a political rally in Narok. And is now going to Kajiado to hold a big rally for the Maasai of Kajiado to bring peace. What happened to Narok, where he is representing as a senator? And we are fighting here. There is Odomongi and Orokiteng. We have divided ourselves into two sections. If he was a genuine man, why didn't he come in and say, why are these people going parallel? We do not know. I cannot ascertain whether he was given money, but I am sure Kenya is a very corrupt country. So Ladama being corrupt the way he is, I'm sure he was given some shillings to come and try to bring a lot of disharmony within the Maasai community.
Hii tunaelekea wapi sasa? Tunaomba wewe mheshimiwa former prime minister, tafadhali ongelesha hiyo kijana, sababu ni kijana yako, ambia awachane na Ole Lenku, kwa sababu Ole Lenku ndio spokesman ya Maasai.
Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content, of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station, with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Step up with DSTV and we'll show up by giving you more incredible entertainment.
It's game time.
Upgrade your subscription between the 13th of January and the 31st of March and get an even higher package for a whole month on us.
I nominate myself.
If you're on Access, step up to Family and we'll step you up to Compact. Hakuna kitu feel better than putting a little bit in but getting a lot out. Step up and we'll step you up. Dial *423# or download my DSTV app to upgrade today.
Thank you for tuning in to Hope TV, your go-to channel for hope, inspiration, education, and wholesome entertainment. At Hope TV, we are committed to knowing God and making Him known through powerful media content. We truly value you and are dedicated to serving you better. For feedback, inquiries, or complaints, reach out via WhatsApp or SMS on 0708 222 323. Email us at customerexperience@hopefm.org. Hope TV, look and live.
Welcome back. Mukuru kwa Njenga Primary School in Embakasi South constituency in Nairobi has received a donation of 8 classrooms from the United States Department of Defense. This coming as a boost to the school's constrained infrastructure. Ianson Mutethia tells us more.
It was a celebration for pupils at Mukuru kwa Njenga Primary in Nairobi after they received a donation of 4 classrooms from the well-wisher. While receiving the classrooms from the U.S. Defense Department, the Principal Secretary of Basic Education, Professor Julius Bitok, commended sponsors together with the national government led by President William Ruto for their great dedication in supporting school with infrastructure together with the entire process of classroom constructions. While stating their continuity in supporting the school, the Defense Department stated that they will work hand in hand with the Ministry of Education in the country to ensure that all children receive good skills and proper education. Meanwhile, Bitok also highlighted some of the challenges the school has been facing, particularly the poor infrastructure in the school, hence noting that the Cabinet Secretary for Education in the country, Julius Ogamba, has now made an oath on his commitment in supporting the school and its project fully. Nikiripotia dira ya Hope TV, langu jina na Ianson Mongeria.
Across our borders, Democratic Senator Cory Booker has set a new record for the longest speech in Senate history, speaking for over 25 hours in protest of U.S. President Donald Trump's unconstitutional actions. Booker, who had to remain standing and couldn't even leave for the washroom, surpassed the previous record held by South Carolina's Strom Thurmond, who filibustered for 24 hours and 18 minutes in 1957 against the Civil Rights Act. Booker's emotional and powerful speech lasted 25 hours and 5 minutes, marking a historic moment in Senate history.
What are you doing, America? You're going to rake up trillions and trillions of dollars in debt that our children and our children's children are going to have to pay for, passing the bucks that will grow. Are you doing that to help people get more access to health care, more access to retirement security, more access to the things we believe in, big ideas like universal child care, paid family leave? No, we're doing that in order to renew the tax cuts that I read conservative budget folks, moderate budget folks, all across the spectrum who said it will blow up our deficit. And the benefits of those tax cuts, not all, let's not use hyperbole, but most will go to the richest people in our country, who I promise you, I celebrate people who've brought their ingenuity and their expertise and their grit and their tireless work, who've built wealth in this country. It should not be us versus them, but I'm telling you that those folks do not need another tax cut.
And now in business, residents in Bungoma County have been assured of improved electricity services from Kenya Power as part of efforts to boost the county's economy with 24-hour access to power. Speaking at a customer feedback session on Kenya Power's services, Bungoma branch business manager Daniel Okumu highlighted that electricity rates during nighttime have been reduced significantly, encouraging business owners to take advantage of these lower costs to run their businesses. Okumu also expressed concern over the rise in electricity cable theft and other power-related crimes, but he noted that a partnership between Kenya Power and security agencies is expected to help crack down on these thefts.
Time of use tariff. This is whereby we are encouraging, especially manufacturers, to take advantage of when power is idle, people are asleep, mostly at night, such that there is generation, but there is low consumption. So we encourage them to take advantage because that power is offered basically at almost half the normal rate, so that we can promote a 24-hour economy. So we are encouraging all manufacturers to take advantage of that when power is charged at almost half the rate, to carry out production by what they can call maybe a 24-hour shift system. Power destruction, especially in Bungoma, we've had a lot of vandalism taking place where the electricity network is being destroyed by vandals. These are basically thieves, and we've also engaged security apparatus, the Ngao officers, our internal security personnel, just to get to know what happens. So I can call it deliberate destruction of the equipment, transformer. We have conductors. We even have currently during the Madaraka Day celebrations, this county was well lit, and now a lot of that infrastructure has been vandalized, where people, the intelligence we get is that they use this conductor maybe as scrap metal or to connect others illegally. Issues which have come out are to do with bills, how they can be billed correctly, efficiently, and also payments of bills, so that we reduce the debt that is rising.
It is a wrap on Newswatch tonight on behalf of the whole crew. Thank you for watching. I'm Tess Njenga, and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Murithi. God willing, see you tomorrow night, same place, same time, that is 9 p.m. Till then, take care. Have a good night.